Welcome back to Operation Evil. This is episode 80, and it's titled...
Armin Miewes. Armin Miewes.
That's perfect. Anyways, I'm your host, Nyoka.
We just laughed for 20 minutes about this.
Armin Miewes. Armin Miewes. Armin Miewes.
I'm sorry. That's amazing. You okay over there? That's Rachel all choked up.
Or better known to
German?
American people, Armin Miewes.
Yeah.
Miewes.
And then in German,
Armin
Miewes.
Miewes.
Armin Miewes. Armin Miewes.
Armin Miewes.
Armin Miewes.
We're not making fun
I'm
of the
so
language.
excited for this episode. I cannot wait to hear it. And I don't know if I really have any announcements because it feels like I just did it because we're recording 2 episodes tonight. So it's like, did we do the intro? Did we say everything we want to say?
Let's just say again that it is our anniversary month. We just celebrated 2 years together. Yes. July 5th.
It's beautiful.
No, I'm not talking about the podcast. I'm talking about our relationship.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Just kidding. Talking about the podcast.
And our relationship. Absolutely. So, I'm just going to let you take it away from here.
So let me give you a little backstory because, every episode of Dude did I say Dude?
Yeah.
Every episode that I do, it has to have, like, a reason. Like, I saw it when I was 6 or something.
Yeah, your mom read you the story.
This will be brought up every single episode until the end of eternity.
Does your mom listen?
Probably not.
If she only knew
She's
how much...
She's not very supportive.
Oh my God. If she only knew how much I mention her.
I know.
She would probably listen.
Should be like a celebrity.
Yeah.
So, I think I've mentioned multiple times that my favoriteest band in the whole world, well, it's a strong tie with Alice in Chains, but anyhow, it's Rammstein. And they have this song called Mein Teil. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering German. We butcher our own language, so...
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So, I've been wanting to cover this Armin...
Miewes.
Miewes.
I mean, you got the recording. You can always
The
play
W is the V.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, I'm familiar with some German words because of the band, because of their lyrics and stuff.
I know Du hast. What does Du hast mean, though?
You hate me, I think.
Oh.
That's my least favorite song.
That's the most played. That's probably why.
Yeah. Oh no, where did the first
Du hast. Du hast.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. That was for you.
So in 1961, Armin Miewes was born. There's not really a whole lot about there is some stuff about how his childhood was. It's just the classic stuff mother issues.
Yeah.
But first I'm going to start with everybody kind of knows this story, but so there was this internet, what do you call that? The black internet, what's it called?
Dark web.
That. So there was this place called Cannibal Cafe or something, and supposedly Armin posted this ad looking for, this is what it said. Seeking I put built. Seeking a seeking a well-built man, 18 to 30 years old, for slaughter, and consumption.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being on the dark web and you're like, it's my lucky day. I'm 25 and I'm looking to get slaughtered and consumed?
Well, someone did answer the ad, and they said that like hundreds of people answered this freaking ad.
Oh my gosh.
So, oh gosh, like I forgot to look up how to pronounce his name properly. So there was a person that did seriously answer this ad, and supposedly he said, "I am your meat."
Sold. Chop,
Business done. Now, they supposedly both of them had like the same like goal here. Like, well, really, it was more Armin. He wanted to like merge two souls together, like, and he would finally feel close to another person.
That's why he wanted to consume this person?
Yes.
To take him into him.
Yeah, so he wouldn't be alone.
Was he looking for a male? Did it matter? Did it say male?
Yeah, I think it did. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, remember
okay.
the well-built man?
Yes. Interesting. I would seriously think if I read that ad that whoever responded to it was going to like turn around and kill me. Like if I was him, it's the dark web.
Yeah. Like, how do you know that they're not going to murder you? But
Right.
I guess he was
willing to take that chance.
And what's interesting, though, is that this person was 43.
So he was above the age that he was asking for.
Accordingly to the resources that I found.
Huh.
So, like I said, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce this correctly, but Bernard Jurgen Brandes.
Sounds good to me.
He worked in Berlin, or he was from Berlin, and he was a software engineer. Sorry, I gotta clear
So he was probably like pretty intelligent for being a software engineer, I would think.
Yes, I mean, he was a good-looking guy.
Which is, I guess, he had to be if he was 40-something and the max was supposed to be 30.
Yeah. He kind of did look 30. So I kind of wondered, like, maybe he was 33 instead or something. But they said he had a history of depression.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, something ain't right.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to read this quote. "I offer myself to you and I will let you dine from my live body, not butchery, dining." This was a quote from Brandes. All right, so what happened was Brandes ends up answering this ad. He goes over to Armin's house, which is this huge manor, like this huge mansion. And I don't know the process of it. There is like hours of videotapes of this whole thing happening. Like they said that some of like the detectives or police officers or whatever, like the people that have watched the actual videos, have had to seek psychological counseling after watching some of these videos.
I wonder if it went live on the dark web, and that's why he was recording it.
It seems like to me that there was somebody who did a video on this, and like there was parts of the video. I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
Wow.
So the like Armin's dream too was like, well, no, actually that was what was his last name? Brandes.
Mm-hmm.
He had a dream to be eaten. So like I don't know, like that's just messed up. Like
I mean, they were a perfect match. One wanted to do the eating, and one wanted to be eaten.
Now, later, I'm going to kind of touch on this later too, but like later on in one of the trials, because there was actually two different trials. In one of the trials, there was a former partner of Brandes that said that like he broke up with him because he would be like, "I want you to like bite my penis off."
Wow.
So it was like a thing for him, a mutilation thing. Yeah, so like I said, about hundreds of people, more than 200 people answered the ad.
Oh my God.
"Seeking a young man who wanted to be eaten" was like another quote that I found somewhere. And the thing is, too, about this whole thing is like this raised concerns about the internet. Because, and I'm jumping ahead here too, again, but Armin didn't just post this ad once, he did it twice. So he succeeded, and then he tried to do it again. So, like I said,
mean, it's the dark web, so why not?
Why
right?
not try?
Yeah.
Why not try? So Armin invites Brandes over to his home, and this is in the city of Rothenburg in Germany. And it starts out with I'm so scared I'm gonna keep like goofing up his name.
Let's give him a nickname.
Okay.
Mr. B.
Okay, Mr. B. So Mr. B, he has some sleeping pills and some schnapps, and this, like, he's thinking that this will kind of like alleviate the pain or what have you.
Relax some.
Right. So the first thing that they said was that they tried to cut off the penis. He wanted Armin to bite his penis off, but it was like impossible. So they used this knife, and the knife was not like sharp enough. So they tried another knife, cut it off. And there was another thing that I saw where Armin sliced and cooked parts of Mr. B's flesh, and they both ate it. Now, supposedly, they both tried to eat the penis, but it was like too like chewy or whatever. Like, you just couldn't eat it. So supposedly Armin cooked it, sauteed it and some stuff, and they had like a dinner.
Wow.
I don't know how that's even possible, but so I keep saying so.
And the
a lot.
dude and Mr. B wanted to try it too?
Yeah, like he voluntarily was like, let me eat it too. Like they try to eat it together. Yeah.
Ugh. Okay.
Yeah. It was said that Brandes took a bath and that Armin read books to him, like Star Trek and Disney, like Disneyland books.
So this is, I'm assuming he's bleeding out.
Yeah, like he's laying in a tub. Supposedly, he had this medication and stuff to help
Relax him.
Yeah, make him a little unconscious, liquor and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's just kind of like dying slowly. So hours later, Armin stabs him to death. I believe he stabbed him in the neck. And he ends up cutting his body into pieces and places all these body parts in these frozen bags, like, to put in the freezer. And within like, I think it's like 90 days or something, like, or 6 months or something, he every day consumes a piece of Mr. B.
Wow.
And he's not just like this Jeffrey Dahmer crap, like where he's like just, it's experimental. It's more like, which I know like Jeffrey Dahmer, it seems like that's a common thing where they want them to be a part of them.
Yeah.
But like he would like make it like a dinner, like saute and like use like garlic and like oils and like have nice wine and stuff. Like
that's crazy.
Gross. And it was said that even like at this dinner there was wine and things like between the two of them. And also I forgot too, like he had drank like a whole bottle of cold medicine.
Mr. B did?
Yeah. It was said that was given to him too before he was stabbed. Ugh, man, that's crazy. So, like I said, he put up another ad after he did this. And there was a person, I think he was like out of Australia. I don't know if he was from Austria or Australia, but he saw this ad and he alerted the authorities. And the authorities were like, let's go check this out. And they get to this big manor and they start searching the house and they find all this shit. Like these body parts frozen in bags and things. And I forget how many pounds of flesh or what have you, but he had consumed most of it when the police had gotten there.
Which is, I guess, why he was looking for
a second victim to Yeah.
But this person had to be on the dark web and see this and then reported it to the authorities, I would assume.
Yeah, that would be a tricky situation. Like, do you want to get yourself in trouble? I would be anonymous.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Weird.
Mm.
So the police go, they search this house and they arrest Armin. And once the trial starts, things come out in public, things come to light. And then like there's reporters and stuff that interview Armin, and you soon find out that there's maybe a little bit of explanation, like why he is like he is. And I'm going to compare him to Edmund Kemper because, again, another common thing is that issues with the mother, like, so the mother was very, like, possessive there was a witness in one of the trials that said, like, he was a young man, like, old enough to not be, like, should be, parented or whatever. And it was 10 o'clock, and she was like, get your ass to bed. And he did. That's not literally what she said, but, like, that's how it was. Like, he did. He went to bed. Like, he did everything his mother, she kept tabs on him. And he took care of her, too. So, I'm going to give you a little bit. We're going to skip ahead a little bit. I'm going to give you a little bit of details about his life. And then we'll talk about the trial, both of the trials. So, Stern Magazine, which I think is a magazine based out of Germany, I think, they showcased pictures of inside the house. And
I picture it nice and neat.
Well, it's almost like Norman Bates is how someone described it too, because the mother's room was very pristine. It looked like that she had her slippers laid out, her robe laid out.
Wait a second. He lived with his mom?
Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention that. Yeah. Yeah.
It is Norman Bates. Okay.
It is. Yeah. So for sure, like, he lived with his mother. When he was about 8 years old, his father left. His mother was like 40 when she had him. So so there's Armin and then 2 other brothers. Okay. So Armin is the youngest. I'm looking for the brothers' names. Pause. Okay, here we go. So his one brother, Wolfgang, he left when Armin was 8 years old to become a priest in Berlin. And then another brother, Engelbert, he just like moved away, just left. And then back to the father, I forget what the father's name was, but he left too, left the mother. So it was just the mother and Armin. They were left all alone. All 3 of those guys just left. So the mother, she would kind of like blame the child, like Armin, she would blame him for, it was almost like she was alone and bitter, so she took her frustration out on him.
Okay, I gotcha.
She was mean to him.
Okay.
Like, you're worthless, you're a loser, blah, blah, blah. And
she
was
created
just
this monster.
Kind of, in a way, yeah. So when the police go into this house, this is weird too. Like, they can see that, like, there's this room and it has like this golden plaque that's called Child's Room. Like, all the rooms are named different names by his mother. Yeah. So there's Morning Dew. Another room is called Sunlight. And there's like 43 rooms total in this house. And this house is located in central Germany. Now, his mother's room was boarded up. There was clothes on her bed. And so I should actually, let me reverse that. So when the police find the house, this is how it looks. But prior to that, like, I'm getting like totally off track here. When the police find the house, the mother's room is boarded up. There's clothes on the bed, and the dressing table is scattered with things. Like, there's like one of those heads, like you would put a wig on.
Oh, yeah.
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 So there's that. And then that's just like, actually, it was on, that's where it used to say was on the dressing table. But he had removed it and put it in this bed, like between 2 pillows, and covered it up. So, like, it looked like, just like the...
Like a body was there?
Right. And he drew a beard on it.
And was the mother alive at this time?
At this point, no. She was already gone. She was already dead.
Was her body in the rocking chair turned around? Okay.
In another room, there was preserved toys, like a train model and a German castle. And then, like, on the table, along with this castle and this toy train model, was a bleached cow skull. Cute!
I like the cow skull.
I figured you would.
Our logo.
So, like, the neighbors described Armin as, like, a mother's boy, or how we would say a mama's boy. She was his idol. He was always trying to, like, win her approval. And
She was like, no, you little freak.
Yeah, it was like because of her emotional and financial decline, she just took it out on him. And just overbearing, domineering personality. And they say that that's partly why the father left her, was because it sounds like
her attitude sucks.
Yeah. She was like, things are going to be my way. And I don't care what you say. So I'm going to back it up a little bit, okay? So his mother dies in 1999, okay? So imagine all this time from the time he was 8 years old until 1999, however old he is. I think he's like 38 or something like that. Because he's almost the age that she was when she gave birth to him.
Oh.
So all this time, it's just him and her. Now, at one point, he did try to date, but guess what his mother did? Sat in the back seat of the car.
On his date?
On his date.
As he was an adult?
Yeah.
Ew.
He joined the army when he was like 18, I guess.
Did she follow him?
Well, luckily it worked out that he could like live at home, but that didn't pan out. But I guess he was in it for a while because he started up relationships with some of his army buddies. There's one article that I found suggested that. So he had very good intentions about 2 or so years before his mother died. He met this woman, had very good intentions of marrying her and having kids with her. But he kind of discovered that he was gay.
I was going to ask if he was gay or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did I say 1996? It wasn't 96. Just kidding. But, yeah, so he's like, I think I'm gay. And he kind of like tried to hide it from his mother too, because I'm sure that, that would have been a disappointment to her.
Right. So
she dies in 1999 and he's like, it is time to live life how I want to.
Mm-hmm.
And shortly after, I think it was like 2001 is when he posts this ad. Now, also, I would say he was intelligent too, because he always, since he was a kid, he wanted to, work with computers, and his goal was to set up a business in the manor, like run it outside of the manor to do like PC repair and stuff like that, which he actually did for a while, like worked as a repair person. But he wanted to do a school, like teach people about how to use computers and stuff, but it never got up off the ground. He never had the money to like get it going and stuff, so it just like fell through. So anyhow, in 2001, that's when he places this ad, and he finds Mr. B, and that happens. And then he places a second ad. He gets turned into police, gets arrested. Let me just tell you, though, how many, hours or whatever that they find.
And the videotape?
Yeah. And
I want to know, does Mr. B regret this? After
I don't think so. Not from
so
what
weird.
I read. They found 600 photos of the killing, 300 videotapes, and 16 computers.
Oh my God, that's a ton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, this was a very slow death.
Yeah. And you know how I was talking about that magazine that's I think it's based in Germany? They showcased the house, with these creepy images and stuff. This was at the point when Armin is in prison. So after all this stuff has happened, and they just try to paint a picture of you see these photos of this mother that's been talked about, and you see that bed cluttered with clothes, and there's a dead mouse randomly, and then you see this rocking horse, and there outside is a swing set in high grass. So it just kind of frozen in time, but not.
Haunting.
Yeah. Yeah. And there was a friend that visited Armin after the mother had passed, and the wife had went upstairs maybe to use the restroom or something, and that's when they could see that the mother's room was pristine, but all the other rooms were filled with cat excrement.
Huh.
And I'm sure it stunk really bad.
Wow.
Could you imagine 40-some rooms?
No.
Filled with cat pee or
no.
Whatever? Ugh. Gross.
That sounds really bad.
Yeah. So the trial started in I want to say 2003.
I can't believe how, current this is.
Yeah, you would think that it's a little bit older than...
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I mean, I know it's still a long time ago, technically, but,
Yeah, because, I guess it is 20 years, right?
Yeah.
It started December of 2003, and there was 3 judges that presided?
Yeah.
They were in charge of the
tickle
trial.
in my throat, sorry.
I know, we both been talking a lot. And what's interesting, too, is that cannibalism is illegal in Germany.
Is it illegal here?
I don't know.
I'm going to find out.
Good point. What the judges faced with this trial, though, was that the fact that Mr. B agreed. He, consented to be killed. So that's, where they kind of had to, it's almost like they used euthanasia as, the, what do you call that? The charge.
Oh. Okay, for drugging them or whatever. So Google says, in the United States, there are no laws against cannibalism per se, but most, if not all, states have enacted laws that indirectly make it impossible to legally obtain and consume the body matter. Murder, for instance, is a likely criminal charge regardless of any consent.
So, probably Jeffrey Dahmer, he was actually convicted of murder.
Yeah, so even though there's no laws against cannibalism, there still kind of is.
Well, and I think a way around that, too, is, I think they mentioned in here was, disrupting death.
Yeah.
Or, abusing the corpse or what have you.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought it was another thing that was interesting was that they say that, so where this happened, Rothenburg, which was where this manor, where the house is, and Castle, I think that's the state or something, I can't remember, but they call these places Storybook Road. So your little fairy tales, Brothers Grimm,
Mm-hmm.
and all that, Hansel and Gretel, Rumpelstiltskin. Do you remember reading those as a kid and seeing the image?
Yeah.
Of the little village and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what this place would look like.
And it's called Storybook Road.
Storybook Road.
That sounds cute.
It does sound cute. And then to know that happened.
Huh.
There. So at the trial, like I said, the judges are faced with the charges. What do we do? So the maximum, sentence for euthanasia is 6 months to 5 years that you're going to get sentenced for that. So
Okay.
that's what they went with.
That's what they went with.
Yeah. So he got 5 years.
That's it?
No, I'm sorry. He got 8.5 years.
For this crime?
He got 8.5. Yeah. So, what's next is good though, because the prosecution was like, oh, no. They did a retrial. How most people, you hear of here, where they're innocent, let's go ahead and do we want to do an appeal for a new trial to hopefully get a not guilty verdict.
Mm-hmm.
This was kind of opposite, because it was we want to appeal for a new trial to get
a guilty.
A murder conviction. And that's exactly what they did.
Ooh.
Yeah. So he got life sentence out of this trial. And there was a doctor that a psychiatrist that testified and was because he was saying, I did it once, I'm over it, I don't need it to do it again, I regret doing it, but I can't take it back. And the doctor was he'll do it again. The tendencies are still there, he will do it again.
He didn't feel bad about doing it. He was looking for a second person.
Exactly. So you're full of shit, dude.
Yeah.
One of the judges said, quote, both were looking for the ultimate kick. This was an act between two extremely disturbed people who both wanted something from each other. I see that point, but ultimately, he killed someone.
Yeah.
And,
even if they wanted it or not, he still murdered someone.
Right. And, that was Like, this psychiatrist testified that Armin was not suffering from diminished responsibility at the time of the killing either, which means, like, you know, like here it's like the insanity plea. But maybe Mr. B was insane. Maybe.
I mean, they both had to be.
For those acts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So after that first trial, though, it said, you know, he could be paroled as early as 2008. Well, it's funny because in 2006, that's when he went back to retrial. And Judge Klaus Drescher threw out the defense that Armin had acted on his victim's request. So he, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, they were like, no, ain't having it. Your ass is going to jail for life.
Wow.
It's so gross, too, because during the first trial, like, he was like, I'll write my memoir in prison. Gross.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what happens now.
So he's in prison, and of course, like, that same old crap, like, they didn't really come out and say that, like, he's like a model prisoner, but he's going to church, he's helping people learn computer. Well, it's with a typewriter. So I don't think they have like a computer, it's a typewriter. So he's educating people. They let him out of prison to go for walks. As early as of 2023, I saw articles where they were saying back in 2020 that he would be dressed up in a disguise and they would just let him walk. How can they do that? How?
Wow. I was expecting you to tell me like he died in prison or something.
No. I want to talk just a little bit about Mr. B. You remember how I was telling you there was a witness that said that Mr. B was like, I want you to bite off my penis?
Yeah.
So he wasn't like not used to answering or the ad thing. He had evidently done it before or posted his own ad. He posted an ad through a magazine, and this ad said that he offered services as a Caribbean boy. And this was back in 1998. And he had been in this relationship been in a relationship for 3 years and offered this ex-partner 3,300 pounds to bite off his penis. And the dude was like, I break up. He
Smart guy. Yeah.
And the partner that Mr. B was with at the time that this murder happened, he had no idea that he was going to meet Armin and do this. Like, after the crime had happened, he found a will in their apartment, and like they had recently just bought new appliances, like a TV and like some kind of electronic thing. So there was not really any suggestion, I guess, that he thought on his part that he wanted to die.
Okay.
And he tried to marry a woman and have kids, but he came out to a girl and stayed in contact with her for years. And this same girl was in contact with him like 3 days before he died. So it's just shocking to...
No one knew.
No one knew, and they were just shocked. Totally shocked. So, yeah, that's it.
So the dude's still in prison.
The dude is still in prison, and he goes for walks.
That's odd.
Also, to add too, is that he works in laundry, the laundry thing too. Forgot about that. April of this year, the house, it burnt down. The manor, yeah. Like, they said that they weren't going to rule out arson, but the mayor of that city, the town's mayor, Christian Grunwald, said he hoped its destruction would stop people visiting the site. The ruin must be removed permanently. It must not become a pilgrimage site.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, I get it if it was attracting people.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jeffrey Dahmer apartment, they burned that building down, or demolished that building too.
Oh, yeah. Which I think, was that like a slumlord kind of apartment?
I think so. Plus, I'm sure it smelled like dead bodies.
Yeah. Well, in this house, it makes me wonder too, because it was like in the countryside. So, like, how close were other houses to it? I think I want to say that it was remote, actually.
I don't know.
But there's been stories. I think there was like movies that have been done. As researching this, I saw that there was a advertisement for a television program that was going to air like recently. So
About this story?
about Armin.
Oh my
Miewes,
gosh.
yeah.
If so, we got to watch it and talk about it.
I think it was in another country.
Oh. Is it illegal to go on the dark web? I think it is, right?
I think it is.
I'm going to look. Is it illegal to go?
Gosh, I mean, he was getting on the internet. It was like, like dial-up and stuff. Like,
Okay, so it's not unlawful in itself, but it is, of course, illegal to carry out illegal acts anonymously, such as, child abuse images, promoting terrorism, selling illegal items, all that. Cannibalism.
Okay. I know that there's been people, like I said, that have made videos about the dark web because I'm pretty sure I remember seeing footage. I know that you can see like the image of his ad that he posted or the Cannibal Cafe.
You need to try to find that and put it on Facebook.
What it looks like.
Yeah.
He could have made something of himself. And what really pisses me off too is that he's one of those guys like at the trial. He's like smiling for the cameras and like he's all well dressed and like, oh, look at me.
Yeah, he's got issues for sure.
Mommy issues.
And daddy ones too.
Evidently.
Yeah.
But yeah, just about every YouTuber or podcaster or documentary writer, whatever, dozens of people like tend to cover the story because it's so
bizarre.
Yeah, in every which way.
I mean, that's gross. Okay.
Yeah.
Ew. Thanks for covering it, though.
You're welcome. Thank you, Rammstein.
Yeah, thanks. Amazing. Okay. Anyways, I just have so many thoughts in my head. Thank you.
Ask
guys.
questions.
I was gonna say something inappropriate. Like, is that where "eat a dick" came from? Like that saying? I'm sorry. That was wrong.
Well, I always wonder, like, there's a video where it's like a home video, like, you know how bands make, like, the making of this album or what have you.
Yeah.
And one of the guys, like, is cooking sausage. And he's like, oh, it's my time.
Oh, my God.
Because, like, it means, like, my part, or another word for, I read, correct me if I'm wrong, but I read that it also means, like, my penis.
I believe you. This could get out of hand pretty quickly. Okay. We're going to leave you there with those thoughts. Thank you guys so much for listening, of course, as always. And we really appreciate your comments on Facebook and participating in our goofy little posts. And if you don't follow us, you should, because we're funny sometimes.
Tons of funny.
Yeah. So go follow us. And
oh, before we go, I want to mention Rob again. Order 42 show. Love that guy. Yeah. He like drops our name all the time in our podcasts and all that. So
yeah, go follow him.
Yeah, go follow. He does
YouTube.
Really fun reviews. He just reviewed one of my favorite movies, Heat. It's got Al Pacino, Robert De Niro in it. Tom Sizemore. It's like a 90s movie, I think, but it's good.
I saw because I'm following him or whatever, and I saw he mentioned The Crow.
Yes.
I guess because they're redoing The Crow.
Yeah, isn't like Jason Momoa supposed to be?
Is it? No, I cannot picture that.
They always say they're going to redo that movie, and then it falls through. But the last that I heard was that he was going to play Eric Draven.
No, I heard that it was one of the brothers from the guy who played Pennywise.
Oh, the Skarsgård?
Yeah.
Is it Eric, the one that was in True Blood?
No, but he's...
That would have been good.
He was going to play... Because now I want to know. Play in The Crow remake. Yeah, Bill Skarsgård.
Okay.
He's going to be Eric Draven.
Hmm.
Yep, I was right. I thought I remembered seeing like a picture.
And he is the one that played Pennywise?
Yeah. There's that picture.
I could see that.
I think he could pull it off. I mean, there's no one it's not gonna be the original. I mean,
Right.
the original special. But I think that he's a good choice.
Yeah. When you put them side by side like that?
Yeah. I think so. We'll see. We'll judge that one. That's our generation.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
They're just remaking our movies all over again because they have no ideas.
Are they going to remake a new 13 going on 30?
Probably. Maybe in 5 years. 30 going on 82.
Looks so young.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys. We appreciate and love you, and we'll give you a new story next time. Goodbye.
Bye.